The Beaver's Mansion, a buzz book.
Bob was a typical average beaver who lived in the friendly forest. One day he decided to go on a walk to pick some blackberries with Sally the squirrel, Nate the newt, and Rachel the robin. After their baskets were overflowing and their tummies were full of juicy, delicious fruit, they decided to head back home. Suddenly, they heard a big boom coming from a hedge nearby.
Hey, I wonder what that noise was. Let's go check it out,
Said Nate. Together the four peeked out through the hedge and saw a bunch of humans and machines. Towering over them were massive structures bigger than anything they'd ever seen.
Wow, I wonder what those are for,
Exclaimed Sally.
I've never seen anything so big in my entire life,
Said Nate in awe.
I wonder where all the trees went that used to be there,
Questioned Rachel. But Bob said nothing. He was so consumed by his wonder about these buildings that he didn't even hear what his friend said. If it was possible for these humans to build such amazing structures, why couldn't he? He knew from that moment onward that he was destined to build something bigger and greater than any beaver before him. As soon as he got back home, he locked himself in his room and began sketching designs for the mansion of his dreams. He decided it would have 5 stories, a big outdoor swimming pool, giant columns, a bowling alley, and an indoor beaver ball court.
This is going to be a gigantic project. I better get started right away,
Bob said. For the next month, he worked day and night on his mansion. A few weeks in, Sally stopped by to see if Bob wanted to play some beaver ball with the rest of their friends.
We never see you anymore. It will be great to catch up,
Said Sally.
I don't have any time today. I'm really close to finishing my mansion, and when I finally do, y'all can stop by and play on my court,
Said Bob. Sally walked away saddened, but Bob didn't even notice as he had already gone back to work. Finally, after countless days of working on the mansion, it was finished. Bob was so proud of his work and wanted to show off his new house to his friends, so he planned to throw a swimming party in his giant new pool. First, he walked over to Sally's house, only to find a small stump in its place.
Where did your tree go?
He wondered aloud. Confused, he decided to look for Nate by his home near the river instead. To his surprise, Nate was also gone. Lastly, he walked over to where Rachel's tree used to be, but found her packaging up her things.
Where are you going, and where did everyone else go?
Bob asked.
I'm leaving to find a new home because you chopped mine down to build your mansion,
Rachel responded.
The rest of the gang has already left, and I'm going to meet them to find somewhere to live.
For the first time, Bob looked around and realized he was surrounded by a sea of stumps, all created by his destruction. He realized then that although this mansion had been an awesome project for him, it had ruined the lives of those around him. With this in mind, he walked home to try to figure out how to fix the problem he had created. Once he opened his eyes to the rest of the community, he realized he was going to miss his friends and wanted them to come back. When he finally reached home, the first thing that caught his attention was the swimming pool.
I guess I could live without this,
He thought.
I could use the wood from the dam to build houses for my friends.
He began taking apart the pool one piece of wood at a time. All of a sudden, the whole wall started to crumble as logs tumbled over each other. Water burst through what had been a dam and started to overflow and flood where the forest used to stand. Bob even got swept away with the water, but only slid for a few seconds before finding a rock to climb onto. He watched helplessly as his masterpiece of a mansion crumbled and floated away.
Wow, I feel terrible. This is all my fault.
He sobbed.
I have no idea how to undo this. There is no longer any wood for building houses for my friends, and now everything is covered with water. I just want everything to be the way it was before I even thought about building a mansion. How am I supposed to bring back my friends now?
His heart filled with longing for the way things used to be, and he remembered the good times with his friends, playing beaver ball underneath the trees. He realized that the trees were really what made the forest such a special place to live. They provided shade for comfort on a hot day, protection from rain and snow, and they were wonderful to play hide and seek in and climb on. As he thought this, he said to himself,
If I was the one to take these wonderful trees away from my community, then I am responsible for bringing them back.
So this is what Bob the Beaver set out to do. Over the next few days, he collected seeds for his new project. Then he spent a week planting all of those seeds and watering them with care. As the seeds sprouted and grew a little, some of the smaller animals started to come back home. Nate the newt was one of the first animals to come back, and he was so happy that he had his old friend back. As the years progressed and the trees continued to grow, more and more animals came back to the friendly forest where they belonged. Sally the squirrel and Rachel the robin came back too, and the trees grew to the point that they were almost as tall and healthy as the original forest trees. As things continue to return to normal, Bob realizes that he is happier now than he ever was before. One day, Sally comes to him and asks if he wants to play a game of beaver ball. Bob smiles and replies,
Absolutely.